You're tuned into the Ministry of Health's Week in Review. Coming up, we'll take you through the key highlights and major developments from the past week. On Monday, June 2nd, Minister of Health Honorable Dr. Frank Anthony opened the EU Investment Mission's Health and Pharma event. The initiative, held with top EU companies, focused on exploring potential partnerships and building regional pharmaceutical capacity. Minister Anthony underscored the urgent need to build local and regional health resilience, especially in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic.
This has been a work in progress. It started just after COVID, when we saw that during COVID it was very difficult for countries around the world, smaller countries, to actually access medical supplies, medication, vaccines. It was a very stressful time. And when the lockdown came, part of the challenge would have been the disruption of supply chains. So even if you had resources and you had to get something from one of these developed countries, it was very challenging to move it from that country, let's say to Guyana or to the rest of the Caribbean. So that we learned from that experience.
On Tuesday, Dr. Anthony received a courtesy call from Javier Maria Cabarosa Sanchez, Ambassador of Spain to Guyana, to discuss area of mutual interest and explore opportunities for collaboration in the health sector. Also in attendance were representatives of Spanish companies participating in the EU Investment Mission on Health and Pharmaceuticals. On Wednesday, the Health Minister engaged in a series of high-level meetings as a part of ongoing efforts to strengthen Guyana's healthcare system. The day began with a courtesy visit from His Excellency Andre Benson, non-resident Ambassador of the Kingdom of Sweden to Guyana. Ambassador Benson was accompanied by Mr. Andreas Rentner, Sweden's Trade Commissioner for Brazil, Suriname, and Guyana. Later, a delegation from JIPA Network met with Minister Anthony to explore strategic partnership in healthcare, led by Dr. Webby Boer, Chief Growth Officer, and Dr. Ivor Crandon. The team discussed collaborative opportunities to enhance our public health system. Minister Anthony, along with Chief Medical Officer Dr. Narayan Singh, also engaged in discussions with senior executives from Abbott Point of Care, Massey Distribution, and American Hospital Supply. The team introduced the One Stat Point of Care system and presented its potential benefits for improving public health care delivery. In another key meeting, representatives from the Chesney Foundation paid a courtesy call on the minister. The discussion focused on advancing respiratory care in Guyana. The Chesney team share a plan to deploy pulmonary fellows under the Global Fellowship Program, with training set to begin at selected hospitals and healthcare centers across the country. On Thursday, the National Vocational Training Center, commonly known as the Open Doors Center for Persons with Disabilities, held a graduation ceremony. 11 young adults proudly received certificates after successfully completing a 2-year training program in various vocational skills. The center offers specialized training in areas such as information technology, garment and craft, carpentry and joinery, electrical and electronic installation, and beauty care. Delivering the feature address, Honorable Dr. Frank Anthony applauded the graduates and the staff of the Open Doors Center for their commitment and perseverance.
We're indeed very pleased to be at this moment when we can celebrate the successes of these 11 graduates. I know from what we just heard, this journey might have been at times challenging, but with perseverance, we were able to see what the results can be. I was just asking the head of the school how many persons would have graduated since the start of this program. And she said to me there are more than 300 persons who would have passed through the school. And my next question to her was, what happened with these 300 persons? And she said, a lot of them were able to get employed. A lot of them went on to further their education, and some of them even have their own businesses. And I think that is what is so important with programs like this.
Thank you for joining our weekend review. Remember to take advantage of all of our healthcare vouchers and get screened early.